Hi, I'm Roger from Holistiplan, and we are here to talk about state income taxes. And I gotta be honest, I felt a wave of stress come over me just saying the words state income taxes. We are working on it, and I wanted to give an update on just where we are on that effort. So the first piece is scenario analysis. That's the first thing that would come to mind when it comes to, okay, do you support state income tax? And so what we're working on is, yes, incorporating the state income tax calculation into the scenario analysis screen. So you can do that analysis of, okay, if I make an extra $50,000 next year in wages, that impacts me at the federal level by this amount, and that impacts me at the state level by this amount. And then the interesting part is then incorporating that into the range calc screen where, okay, I make this change to my income. I either bring income in or out of this year. What's going to be the state income? What are going to be the breakpoints at the state level in addition to the federal level? So that is in the works. We're going to do a phased rollout. So we're kind of going from largest to smallest in terms of population. So Vermont, I'm sorry, it's going to be a while. But we are actively working on California, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois. Those are the top 5 populated states with a state income tax. And Minnesota, we might kind of bump up the list, and Virginia also, just because of some of the demographics of our own clients within Holistiplan. So we'll just see where that goes. So that's in the works. Again, a phased rollout. I hope to have something you can see and touch for Q4 of this year. So that means that we won't have all 40-some states supported by the end of 2020. But it's a phased rollout, and I think once we get a few going, the patterns will start to emerge where we'll be able to go a bit quicker. But these first few that we've done or that are working on, there's just a lot of kind of design considerations and calculation infrastructure to build and stuff like that. So we've been working on it for actually several months, and it's still in the works. So that is scenario analysis. The next one is, how about the tax report? It'd be nice to kind of get some insights into or some hints about what's going on with states. If you're anything like my old firm, yeah, we had a lot of our clients were in our own geography, but you have a few clients either because someone has moved or a family member or professional contact, or if you have a niche practice and you're hitting a certain profession, you got people all over the country. And so knowing some of those little state-specific planning opportunities is really helpful. A good example, I had a call 2 weeks ago with a planner in New York State. And in New York State, your first $20,000 of retirement account distribution is tax-free at the state level. And so the strategy there is, if I need $40,000 out of retirement, it's beneficial to me at a state level, at least, for me to take $20,000 out of my account and my spouse to take $20,000 out of their account, rather than $40,000 out of one. And that's the sort of thing, if you're sitting in Texas and you don't have a lot of New York clients, that may not be something that you know firsthand, whereas if you're in that geography, you know. And we all have those things. Those things are all over the country. And so what we're going to build is, let's build up a library of those planning related tips that are at a state level, and then we can drop that into the tax report. So this is going to be a group effort. I'm going to pop up this week a new survey question. So when you log into the system, you're going to see a survey question. It's going to link you to a list of we've got like 113 that we've already started with, of state tax hints. And we're looking for, in your state or the states that you know about, what are those things that will actually move the needle from a planning perspective? That's kind of different from, in this state we just have this and we live with it. What are the things that actually drive planning behavior? Those are the things that I think would be really useful to have into this library. And then once we've built that, it won't take us long, a week or two, we can drop it into the main code of the system. And now what would happen then is, when you run the tax report, if the system knows what state that client lives in, we'd be able to drop a few hints in there It says, hey, just be mindful of this thing. The last thing is, how are we going to handle optical character recognition of state tax returns the way we do at the federal level? So we've got that optical character recognition software, OCR, that reads a lot of data in off the tax return. Are we going to be able to do that at the state level? It's theoretically possible, but here's the problem. It will be incredibly difficult to do because, well, I mean, there's just over 40 states with their own tax code. Many of them have separate, slightly separate formats for residents versus non-resident state returns. And so we could be looking at, as many as 80 different tax return formats that we'd have to program the OCR to be able to read. It's not impossible, but we have to look at the weigh the practicality and the usefulness of that against other development efforts that we've got going on. So never say never, but it probably for the foreseeable future, we're going to be keying in state information by hand rather than having the computer read it in for us. So that's state taxes. That's our status. Still a work in progress, but you can see a phased rollout coming up. So if you can contribute in any way to that library of state tax hints, we'll be able to roll that out really quickly. And then after that, you'll see us trying to roll out the calculation side for the bigger population states, working our way down through the list. And hopefully, we'll reach a point where HolistaPlan can do at the state level what it's doing at the federal level. And then maybe we'll move on to other countries and then other planets. We'll see.